Alright, what's going on, guys? Today, I want to talk about why you should never lend people money. You know, why you should never ever lend people money, the mistakes I've completely made while just lending people money. You know, just trying to help people out, get them back on their feet. Because, you know, unfortunately, it all came kind of crashing down on me, and I ended up losing a substantial amount of money. Just by kind of being naive and, you know,
I don't understand. This is what I'm saying, and this is what he was implying this in like his first comeback video, that he gave away a bunch of money, including to like some woman who was his girlfriend supposedly, who didn't even kiss him or whatever. It's like, dude, how after all the stories he told on his old channel, how the fuck are you still like trusting random assholes? I don't understand this. What even creates a person like this? Mr. Zool, thanks to the $50. Hey man, haven't donated in a while, but been enjoying the content in Chudcast. Hope all is well. Yeah, things are pretty good. Thanks, man. Can you lend me $50 for Breaker's Gotcha? That's only 3 rolls, dude. It's $15 to roll the fucking gotcha. It's not even worth it. Just play the game and you'll get some tickets. Roll them for free.
thinking, you know, if I'm a good person, I'll, you know, and lend people money or give people money, I'll be like, you know, repaid for it somehow. You know, there's no way that, like, you know, people are gonna, you know, there's no way a friend or a family member is gonna, you know, run off with my money. You know, just not naive, just complete thinking. You know, because I've always kind of given to people. Like, I always kind of, you know, put myself in other people's shoes. And, like, you know, especially nowadays, since I live in my car, I've seen a lot of homeless veterans and a lot of homeless people. I'm not gonna lie, like, I will give people money sometimes here and there, but, like, I mean, that kind of did backfire for me once. You know, months ago, there was this liquor store that I would go to, and this guy, you know, he'd always ask me for money, and, like, you know, one time I gave him like a 20, and I was like, I remember saying to him, like, you know, if you want me to buy you alcohol, I'll buy you alcohol. He's like, no, I don't drink. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm thinking, like, yeah, all right. But no, the guy would just fucking walk out and just go across the street to the McDonald's. And since I would go to that store a lot, I just kind of felt like I had to give him money. You know, he would just ask, and I just, you know, I was like, oh fuck, you know, I'm making the same mistake again. And I do remember asking him too. I'm like, why do you, you know, hang out at the liquor store when you don't drink? He's like, well, because, you know, most people who go to liquor stores, they spend cash. They don't really use their card. And I was like, all right, I guess that's smart. But, like, after a while, I just kind of stopped going there because I'm like, you know, I'm going to see this guy and he's going to ask for money, and then I'm going to feel bad if I say no, and he's going to get all fucking pissed off and all that shit. So,
What the fuck? I don't understand. I don't get this shit at all. I don't get this shit. I don't understand. I feel like I need someone to explain why. Yeah, like, he's like a cuck but with money. Yeah, he's a findom, guys. This is, I don't. I mean, why is he doing this? Like, literally, why? I don't get it.
I just, like, stopped going there. But, you know, it really sucked too because, like, just the amount of cluelessness I kind of had. Like, you know, I remember this was like maybe like 2 years ago. I had, you know, for the first time in my life, lived with my father. And, you know, he would tell me all the time, he's like, you need to contribute. And I thought for sure, for some reason, you know, just living in bumfuck nowhere, I don't know how stupid I could have been, but I thought that I would get a job, like, within the snap of a finger, you know? If I just kept applying, I thought within, like, 2 weeks, I would have a job, when in reality, I went, like, 5 months unemployed, just losing so much fucking money. And it all kind of started out as, like, an innocent thing, like, me just saying, like, to my grandmother, who, you know, unfortunately passed away, I would tell her, like, you know, be like, oh, you know, I could go to the store and, you know, get you some cigarettes and some fucking beer and shit and Twisted Teas because she liked those. And I would, you know, it got to a point where I was wasting maybe like $100 a day, you know, easy. You know, my dad would be like, oh boy, can you go out and run some errands and, you know, all that type of shit. And come to find out, you know, later that, you know, I mean, my dad has lied about a lot of things. He lied about how much money he was making. Apparently he hadn't worked in like 10 years, which I didn't really even know about. He would just, I don't know, because he, you know, he would drink a lot and just tell me a bunch of shit like, oh, I'm making $500,000 a year, buddy. Oh, you know, oh, I got cancer. And then 2 days later, like, oh, no, I don't have cancer. Oh, like, just, you know, you can't really.
He should be asking his dad or his mother, like, how the fuck he has Klinefelters and never knew his whole life, because apparently he never got tested for any of that shit. It's like, you know, this is what I'm saying. Like, I do feel bad because he's one of those examples that was kind of just fucked. You know, born in XXY, so basically a gross, like, soy boy type of creature. At least he's, I guess, slightly above average height for what that's worth, but I don't think it matters much if you're a, you know, extremely low test male. Uh, but his parents are definitely pieces of shit. I do remember that from his stories. There's no doubt about that. So when he talks about that stuff, I am pretty sympathetic, and empathetic for that matter. But I just feel like, if you've been mistreated, why the hell? I mean, maybe he's just desperate for any amount of affection, even if it's from men. But like, why the fuck are you giving money to like random assholes? I don't understand this. That's the shit that's just not relatable on any level.
Rely on addicts. I mean, I learned that the hard way, especially, don't give money to an addict. I'll talk about that in a bit. That's what kind of like ruined my life essentially. But, it started out as that, I would go out, I would run errands, because my dad, he didn't want to fucking, I didn't want him to drive drunk, you know what I mean? And, living in bumfuck nowhere in the middle of Georgia in this like fucking trailer fucking house, which you can't, it's funny too, because you can't even find this shit on Google Earth, like it's not even, like no one ever goes out there that far. So not only was I wasting a ton of money on gas and like groceries and like beers and cigarettes, I was just getting depressed, like I couldn't find work. No one was hiring me at all. And I went through about maybe like close to 10 grand in that 5-month period. Because, I had worked at this warehouse previously and I'd saved up a lot of money. I was doing a lot of overtime. I was working pretty much like every day. I would have like one day off a week. And I made a lot of fucking money, saved up a lot of fucking money. And I was just like, okay, well, I could spend some here and there. I'll find a job soon enough. And it never happened until the very end where, I ended up working at this bookstore. I only worked like, I don't know, like 2 days. It was for like $9 an hour. It was shit pay. Like I would have never survived down there, But I remember like my dad was flipping out. He's like, $9 a fucking hour? No, my God, you're never gonna fucking make it. What the fuck are you gonna buy with that? And I'll never forget this shit too. Like he literally he was on the floor. Like, when you're on fire, they tell you to stop.
It's funny. I know this is pointless to point out, but so for those of you who are not in on the lore, right? His channel has been found out by people in his life twice, right? The first time were like his friends, and so he lost all his friends because they found out about all the stories where he kind of talked shit about him, right? The second time was, I don't know, 6 months ago, whenever he left, right? His parents found out and kicked him out, right? Or his mom kicked him out because he lived with his dad for a little while, then went back to his mom, and then his mom found out about the channel, kicked him out, right? And so he's living in his car. He refuses to get an apartment. And he's still talking shit. He's still talking shit. I mean, to be fair, he has a good reason to be spiteful at this point, I guess. But it's like, it is this kind of a case of he's just going to keep talking shit. He's... oh.
Stop, drop, and roll. He was fucking stop, drop, and rolling. Like, he was like, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God, that's fucking loser shit. Get a real job. Just like, I'm just like standing above him, just looking at him, just stop, drop, and rolling on the floor, just like flipping out over this shit. And he got up, just like all angry, screaming at me. He's like, I think you need to go back to New York City with your mother and find a job there. This isn't working out. This isn't working out. And I left like that with absolutely zero fucking progress in my life and minus like 10 grand. Cause like I had saved up about like 30 grand, from that job. And the smart thing for me to like, that I should have done honestly at that time would probably have been to just, I don't know, move to like a different state. Cause like New York City, you're paying like $4 grand a month for a shithole studio apartment. I don't know how people survive in the city. I really just don't. But I should have just fucking moved somewhere, got like a really cheap apartment with that amount of money and just like looked for jobs like that way in like an actual normal place, not like in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, like Hillbilly Central where everyone drinks and smokes fucking cigarettes, Cause like,
I mean, that's what he should be doing now. I mean, based on what he's currently doing, he's driving trucks, right? Though just deliveries, not driving 16-wheelers or anything. But if he's making decent money now, he says supposedly he likes living in his car. This is from the first of his comeback videos, in case you weren't here for me reacting to that one. He says he likes living in his car, but he's had multiple scares where like a crackhead tried to break in. There's some dudes who wanted help or whatever from him that chased him to his car and shit. It's like, bro, you need like a home or something. Like, you can't fucking... He's just asking to be murdered, and something is gonna fucking happen. This is bad omens.
Get sick all the time over there. I had this mattress on the floor. They never turned the lights on at all ever because they didn't want to waste like any money and all that shit. It was like just poverty living, and I just didn't like it. It sucked. I mean, it was cool at first. It was like a new experience, a new environment. Because, I mean, if you didn't know, like, I pretty much grew up in the middle of nowhere for like the first 10 years of my life, like just bumfuck nowhere. And that's before I went to the city, you know, and yeah, like I thought it was cool at first, and then, you know, minus like 10 grand later, I just went home defeated to like the same exact, place I was pretty much in, just with like zero fucking progress made, just complete wasted time. You know, if I could go back, I probably just would have gotten an apartment and wouldn't have even like wasted my time with that at all, because I don't know, like the thing is too, like I want to talk about this shit too. This was I think this was like kind of like around when I came back. I started talking to like, some of my old friends again. And my one friend, I used to call him my wingman. He moved out with his girlfriend and shit. He had massive credit card debt because he took out like so much in student loans. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like the dude owed like almost like $250,000 in fucking student loans. Like that's how much he did a 5-year degree. And he was trying to get an apartment with his girlfriend at the time. I don't think I ever talked about this, but there was a lot of stuff I couldn't talk about, because of the sheer amount of people in my personal life kind of watching my fucking channel. But, so essentially he was in credit card debt, like massive debt. He needed like $700. He's like, bro, please, I need $700. Like, I'll pay you back, bro. I promise to God I'll pay you back. He's like, I wouldn't do you dirty like that. And I believed it too, because I knew this guy since like middle school, I grew up with this guy. And, this was around like maybe this time, like last year. So I lent him $700, because he didn't, the problem was like the landlord said that like if his credit gets worse, like he won't consider him like fucking, because he had like it was like a 400 credit score. I don't even know how the fuck you could like, get an apartment with that. I really have no idea. But he's like, yeah, my credit's going to tank after this and be like just so bad, bro. He's like, I need this apartment, bro. I'm trying to start a new life for myself. And he's like, trust me, like I'll return the favor, bro. Like I got you. Because the thing is, this guy, his dad essentially got him.
Yeah, I'm playing at 1.5 times speed because he's just talking too slow. Yes, for those of you just joining us. But I don't even know what to say about this shit. It's classic. The guy $250,000 in debt as a girlfriend and then relies on ogre, soy boy buddy. Again, no offense to him, of course. He can't help that he's a soy boy. He has an extra chromosome, quite literally, not even as an insult. But taking advantage of his ogre buddy, and of course doesn't pay him back because people love taking advantage of ugly, loser, sucker people. So not too surprising, I guess.
Job because his dad knew people, had the connections, of course, and he was making like $50 an hour just doing like practically nothing. It was just like a remote job, so he could like work anywhere. But I mean, that was the whole problem with it though. Like he essentially had to keep paying his fucking student loans off every month. Like there's like a certain quota and he couldn't meet it. And so yeah, I give him $700 or whatever the fuck, however much it was. And I didn't really think much of it. And a couple weeks pass, and essentially he was like, dude, I'll give you the 700, and I'll give you an extra 500 if you drive the U-Haul. So basically it was like a 5-hour drive. I'm not gonna say like what state it was that he moved to, but it was like a 5-hour drive. He was following me. I was driving the U-Haul. His girlfriend doesn't drive. I mean, nobody in New York City my age like drives at all anyway, because like everything's kind of walking distance. You just take the fucking subway, buses and shit. I was like one of the few like only people that actually had my license that drove. But he's like, I'll give you $500, and if you just help me load and unload everything. So he basically starts a whole new life for himself. Moves in with his chick, and when I get there, I unload everything. And he doesn't give me anything. He only gives me $100. He's like, I'll Venmo or Cash App you or PayPal you the rest of the money when I have it. And I was like, okay. So I didn't really like think much of it. I was like, there's no way he's gonna like screw me over or anything. And yeah, I was such an idiot that I realized like, as I was driving back home, that $100 was pretty much gone. You want to know why? Because it was gas money pretty much. And I ended up just losing more money actually. And I just, and I remember like, I hung out with him on the 4th of July and shit. And like, this was when I had shaved my head because it was sort of like, I don't know, it was like a stupid decision, but like now
he needs to just get to the part like, what? You brought it up and he's like, oh, but sorry, I still don't have it, man. Sorry, I'll have the money anytime now. Come on, get to that part.
I have to do it because my hairline's fucked and I just, I can't afford to have hair now. It's just easy. Like while living in a car, you just fucking, you don't have to really shower that much. I got like thinning in the back and the temples are pretty fucked now, but like, this is when I like freshly shaved it. And it was a mistake at the time, especially like when you know people. And I just remember him like taking him out to the strip club and he was like fucking slapping my head, like recording me, just slapping my fucking head. Didn't even like bring up anything with like the money he owed me or anything like that. And I remember it just pissed me the fuck off, because not only that, like earlier in the day, like his fucking brother, like he paid his brother $10 to fucking punch me.
It just has no self-respect at all. Zero. None. Why do you expect him to bring it up? You're the one who needs the money. You can't be like, hey, dude, I need the money, at least.
Me in the fucking head, he was supposed to like slap me, and he ended up just fucking punching me. And it's funny too because like you know, like he had like these fucking
Hold on, go back a second.
Like, he paid his brother $10 to fucking punch me in the fucking head. He was supposed to like slap me, and he ended up just fucking punching me. And it's funny too because like you know, like he had like these fucking frat brothers that he went to college with too, and they were like slapping my head as well. I mean, they were drunk as fuck, but like it's like I don't know you like that, you know what I mean? It was just like humiliating, you know, and I never
Yeah, because you just take it. Because you just fucking take it. God, you can't even listen to this shit. It's so... my God, this guy's so desperate. He's so desperate for a friend, man. And that's why he gets taken advantage of. That's what it is. I can't believe someone like this doesn't hate people. You know, this is exactly the type of person. He should be way more misanthropic than I am, given these experiences. Yeah, he's the one, I don't know, it's just, he has the inner, like, soy boy must be accepted by people existence. Yeah, is it just low IQ? I don't know. Is it possible?
I never saw a dime of any of that money, you know. I pulled this guy out of credit card debt and essentially saved his ass to get an apartment. And I saw nothing in return besides $100 that I used for gas to come back up, you know. So that was like the last time I think I talked to that kid was like maybe, I don't know, I think like mid-July, you know, because like he was staying with his parents for a while for some reason, and that was like one of the last times I ever saw him, and that was it, you know. That was kind of like it. And you know, he's living, he's probably married now. I mean, who knows? Like he was talking about it, like he met this girl like in his first year of college and shit, and whatever, man. Like I don't really I try not to think about it. I don't really care. But, you know, the next thing I want to talk about is, you know, essentially, like,
he needs to do roids on
fucking, you know, blackmail to
He is taking TRT. That was something that he said, because the doctor's like, oh, I think you have Klinefelters. And so he apparently is on TRT, at least.
Absolute death, you know, and lost probably the same amount of money at my dad's place, you know, like 10 grand, you know. Essentially, like, I had met this guy, and I regret meeting him, like, so much. I wish I had never met this guy, you know. I bumped into him at the fucking grocery store. I always would, too. Like, I would always bump into, like, people I knew at, like, the fucking grocery store, and it sucked. But it started out, like, all innocent. Like, he was like, dude, you know, I'm putting together a band. I remember you played drums in high school, bro. And I was like, all right, I guess that sounds pretty cool. It seemed like something pretty cool. And he ended up pretty much just, I mean, he knew about my channel. I don't know how he found it or what. But, you know, what used to piss me off, too, is, like, this guy was an addict. You know, he did meth. He had me drive him around everywhere because he was always crashing his car. He was always...
Klinefelters means he is XXY. He literally has an extra sex chromosome. So basically the symptoms are, it turns you to a soy boy. You have bitch tits, super low testosterone, a micro penis. So yes, he's fucked.
Always like, actually I remember this too. He was really drunk one time. He calls me up at like fucking 2 a.m. and this is the thing, you know, like I really felt bad for this guy because not only did he have like schizophrenia, he was, you know, a heavy drug addict, smoked weed all the time too. He was always getting kicked out. He would live in his car like every now and then and sleep in his car. And I really empathized with him. I felt really bad for him. So that's kind of, you know, what started me, like, first off, like, lending him money and giving him money because he couldn't work. He didn't work. And it started, like, this domino effect of just bullshit. You know, never trust an addict. You know, never lend money to an addict, especially. So...
How about just don't lend money to anybody except your family? I mean, legitimately. I don't know. Maybe you guys have close friends that you would trust with money or something, but I'm not sure I would ever lend money to anybody I've ever known.
You know, I remember what I was going to say was, yeah, one time he crashed his car. He was always crashing his car. His car was, like, always in the shop, apparently, so, like, I had to drive him everywhere. And the times that he did drive me, I shit you not, like, he drove me, like, to the strip club and places like that. And every time I got into the car, he would always say, he'd be like, bro, I'm low on gas. Do you have gas money? Like, we'd be halfway there, and I'd look at the fucking meter. It would be, like a millimeter, like a hair follicle away from just fucking going flat and just no gas in the car. And at that point, I'd be like, well, fuck, you know, now I have to give him fucking money for gas because the car's going to fucking die. It was every time.
What, you think he has no money? Or you just believe that he's completely broke and he couldn't afford gas? No. He's taking advantage of you like all these other fucks.
Every single time. And I'm convinced he just hung out with me just for gas money, you know, some days. You know? Because, like, he would see me, like, he'd be like, oh, you want to go to the park? You want to do this? He'd be like, oh, bro, I need, like $20 for gas. Look at my tank. And I'd be like, dude, like, come on, man. And then, like, you know, an hour later, he'd just, like, drop me off back home, you know? And that used to, like, piss me off. And I couldn't do anything about it because one of the things essentially, like, apparently he was over my house And apparently he took a picture of my license, and that was like basically what he was like threatening me with. He's like, if you don't give me money and if you don't give me what I want, he's like, I'm gonna fucking put this on your Reddit. I'm gonna fucking ruin your life. He's like, I'm gonna fucking let everyone know who you are, and I'm gonna obviously tell your parents. I'm gonna fucking let every family member know about your YouTube channel and shit.
How do you not know this guy's a scumbag? I don't think that's Husky. Yeah. yeah. His buddy was Husky.
And it's like, it's not my fucking fault that like I had no support system to fucking vent about shit, to vent about my dysfunctional friends and fucking family. That my channel was the only resort and only place I felt fucking comfortable enough to share shit. Like, I just, and I was like, I didn't even know what to do at that point. I had no idea what the fuck to do. He got me fired I couldn't even talk about this either at the time. He got me fired from my security guard job. Essentially because I wouldn't like give him money like one of the times. And he got me fired from that job pretty much like he told like my manager, which he like knew somehow, like because my mom like worked hard to get me this job. And I had to explain to my mom, I was like, oh, well, I just wasn't even up to par or something. I'd like make something up. But like the manager, like my boss pretty much, he was like, oh, I can't have that, because, and I didn't even really mention it in any of my videos. I pretty much just like kept it nonchalant. But he was trying to explain to me how he had like some a TikToker like that would like live stream in there or something, and like they kept getting like people calling. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't fuck with this new generation of. He was like an older guy. He's like, you social media influencers. I don't care who you are. I don't need anybody contacting this place and calling every 2 seconds. And I was like, okay, and he just let me go. And at that point, I was like stuck. Pretty much, I was like fucked, like essentially like so fucked. I just didn't know what the fuck to do. He would just like call me up randomly in the mornings and shit like that. Like, hey, can you drive me here? I gotta go do a pickup. Bro, you have $100? I need like, because he was addicted to meth. When you fucking do drugs and meth and drink and have schizophrenia, your head is so fucking.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you just have to murder him and drop him in the river. I mean, who's gonna miss him? He's a meth head. Does he even have family? I'm legitimately, that's the way you get rid of him at that point. I mean, maybe the more sane option is you get him arrested, but still, I just, I feel like you're attached to the hip with a fucking psycho drug addict. I mean, you had me at murder. I'm just that he really is kind of just in a fucked situation where it's like you gotta just like you gotta Lenny his ass, He's George, the meth head is Lenny. Just fucking put a bullet in the back of his head. Just drive him out. Be like, oh, I gotta make a stop out in the country or something. I'll take you to where you want to go real quick, and then you just kill his ass and then dump him in the river. I mean, they're not going to figure it out. If he's a fucking meth head, there's no way he has, like, a family or anyone who gives a fuck.
Shot, it's not even funny. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing to people. Like, you turn into, like, the biggest, like, horrible person ever. And trust me, I have so many, like, it gets worse, like, I have so many screenshots, I got recordings, I got everything, on this guy, pretty much. But, and the thing is, too, like, the times he crashed his car, when, I don't know if I skipped over it or whatever, forgot to talk about it, but, like, when he crashed his car and had me pick him up, he essentially, like, the cops, they didn't give him a DUI because he was really drunk, and they didn't give him a DUI. The cops don't give a fuck in New York City, man. They don't give a shit. If you call 911 in New York, they'll put you on hold for a bit. Swear to God. It's like the same shit in, like, California. Like, they'll put you on hold. They don't care. They don't care about giving you a DUI. Like, they don't care about that shit. The cops suck. They suck dick in New York City. They're terrible. They don't do anything, And I even was thinking, I'm like, how is this guy not getting a fucking DUI? And the cops like, yeah, just drive him home. We'll get the car towed. And because he smelled like complete alcohol and all that shit, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I even remember one time, this was like the biggest red flag. I should have just fucking left at that point and stopped hanging out with them. But, essentially, like, this one time we went to the dispensary, and he's like, yo, bro, like, I want to get some weed. He's like, I'll buy you something, bro. He's like, because he had, like, his debit card, his quote-unquote debit card. And, he picks out whatever he wants, and his card declines. He's like, oh, shit, bro. Can you give me, like, I'll pay you back, bro. I promise you, I'll pay you back. And the cashier, the woman was just looking at me, and I was like, motherfucker, man. And I was like, all right, fine, So, essentially, I put the card in, goes through. And he's like, yeah, I'll stop at the bank and we'll, after we smoke, because I don't smoke, I would just, like, sit there and watch him smoke. And we were at this park, he was smoking. He smoked, like, 3 fucking joints, like, back to back. And as we're walking back to the car, he starts fucking freaking out. Like, I thought he was like having like a fucking episode or something. You know what I mean? Like, I thought he was having like a schizophrenic episode or like weed paranoia. And it turned out that his fucking parents were, you know, like they had like his location on his phone. And, you know, like I could see the car. He's like, just go. And I didn't know who the fuck these people were, because this motherfucker would have me go to like this literal trap house with him, and then like he would buy drugs from like this shady ass fucking dude, which I'll get into later. And it was in the shittiest fucking area of the Bronx too, the fucking most dangerous shithole area of the Bronx. You know, I'm lucky I didn't get fucking shot in the fucking head. And anyway, what I was saying, so yeah, like the parents come, he's screaming, go, we gotta go. And, you know, I get in my car, I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? He's like, just drive now. And he's trying to put my car in reverse and like trying to like press the pedal with his hand. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, those are my parents. I'm like, then talk to him. I'm like, maybe they're fucking worried about it. He's like, no, bro, you don't understand. And his fucking dad pulls up behind my car, just parks right behind my car, gets out, starts screaming at the top of his lungs. You know, I roll down the window, you know, on the passenger side, you know, and he's like, give me the card. And apparently he had stolen his dad's debit card, withdrew all the money, which was only like $600, thank God, spends it all in a day. But like before he approached the car, my friend's like, I'm so sorry, bro. I lied to you, bro. I'm so sorry. I lied. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what? He's like, this isn't my card, bro. It's my dad's card, bro. And I even asked him, I'm like, what'd you spend $600 on in a day? He's like, you know, he said alcohol and strippers. And I was like, okay, like what the fuck? But I remember his dad was like literal veins popping out of his fucking head. You know, he was screaming at me too. He's like, you fucking junkie, you junkie piece of fucking shit. And I was like, what did I do? You know, I don't know. I'm not involved.
You know what you did, retard. No. Oh, you're not involved? You're not involved. Really? Fuck off. You're the one who's friends with the fucking druggy retard. How do you even get in this situation in the fucking first place? Like, how the fuck do you even put yourself in this? That's the real shit. I mean, yeah, it's 1000% enabling. That's what this is. Like, it's fucking poured his heart out to a fucking drug addict. Am I supposed to be sympathetic for this part? I'm not. It's just being a retard.
Fucking shit. What the fuck? So he gives his dad the card. You know, his mom's sitting there all pissed off, looking at me, flipped me off, and I was just like, what the fuck, dude? You know? And they just drove off. And at this point, I'm like, I can't fucking do this shit anymore. And I couldn't talk about this on my channel or anything. But the final straw, essentially, so I'm losing a lot of money, and I knew I was going to be homeless like pretty fucking soon anyway, you know. And I had to explain to him many times. I'm like, dude, I only got like fucking $3,000 left in my bank account. Like, I lost fucking. Like,
as if he gives a shit.
Like
why would he care?
In the span of a year.
He doesn't care about you.
99% of it went to other people, because like I don't fucking spend money on stupid bullshit, guys. Like, I don't fucking care about the newest, like, I don't know, clothes, gaming consoles. I never cared about any of that. Like, I always was really good with my money. The only thing it would really ever go to is like food, maybe, you know, my car insurance. That was really it. I don't care about wearing the same clothes every day. I mean, fuck, right now my clothes are all ripped up. I don't give a shit. I haven't showered in forever. I haven't brushed my teeth in fucking forever. I don't care, you know. I really just don't give a shit, you know, about anything or about like materialistic things, you know, at all. But I think that's what makes, you know, car living like so easy for me. Like, it's not really much different from my old life, you know. But the final straw, in which I had to fucking actually go to the police for, so basically this dude, he wanted me to rob that guy, like his plug in the Bronx. And he was like, yeah, bro, like, you gotta be the lookout. He's like, dude, honestly, bro, I think you should buy a gun, dude. He's like, I know where he keeps all of his shit. And he was like, you can tell in his head, like, I mean, first off, he was neurodivergent as fuck, but like, you could always see it in the eyes. You can see, like, if you're neurotypical, you can always see like neurodivergence in the eyes and like certain behaviors.
Okay, bro, I think you're neurodivergent too, I'll be honest. I'm pretty sure I don't think any of the shit you've been doing is normie behavior. I mean, maybe extreme cuckery is kind of a form of normie, I suppose, in this day and age, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure I would say he's neurotypical.
That people like put on, but he was in like some sort of fucking something, man, like some sort of psychosis. And he was just like spam calling me every 5 seconds. He's like, we're gonna rob him. You know, we're gonna pick a day. He's like, you know, you're gonna come with me. He's like, we'll get masks. We're gonna fucking rob him. Like it's like a fucking game. Like, it's like that would, like, what the fuck, man. And that was like the final straw. I'm like, dude, I'm never, like, I can't do this shit anymore. And that's when he was like, yeah, he would just like threaten me with the whole like, oh, you know, I have a picture of your license and I'm gonna fucking ruin your life, like, essentially. And apparently that wasn't true. Because like the thing is, like, what would happen is like when I would tell him like,
wait, that isn't true? You didn't ask to see the fucking picture? There's no fucking way. Oh my god. No, dude. What a fucking retard. Oh my god. What? Are you kidding me? What he wants to be a victim. He wants to be taken advantage of. He has a humiliation fetish. Dbdr has a humiliation fetish. I have determined in my head that's the only way any of this makes sense. He's getting off to this.
Oh, I don't want to, like, you know, because he would ask, like, oh, can I have $50? Can I have $100? Can I have $200? When I would say, like, no, he'd be like, he's like, oh, well, I'm going to ruin your life. I have your license. I have your license. And then he'd be like, I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm kidding. I would never do that to you, brosif. And he would always say brosif. He would talk like that. He'd be like, I'm sorry, brosif. I'm sorry, brosif. And then, like, 2 seconds later, he'd fucking snap and be like, I have your fucking license. I'm going to fucking ruin your life. I can't. This is why, like, I'm so fucking grateful nowadays that, like, I don't have to fucking talk to anybody ever again. And I don't trust, after that whole shit, I can't trust anybody. I will never fucking speak to another human being unless it's, like, very small talk, like 2 words.
Oh, so you finally, he's reached my level. Finally, after all this. Finally. He's finally learned. Let's hope. But we'll see. Maybe there'll be more stories of him being obviously taken advantage of. Again, this is just about this guy. He hasn't even talked about he briefly talked about the girl he dated for 2 weeks in the previous video I reacted on here. Again, that he didn't kiss or anything, and then as soon as he was about to leave, she's like, "Oh, you need to marry me now," like a fucking psycho. And then he literally just ghosts her ass. He's like, "I'll be right back," and then he never comes back. Are you fucking kidding me? People are saying, like, is this satire? Is this fake? It does kind of feel that way sometimes, but I don't think so. I really just think the Kleinfelters thing kind of, like, to me, that kind of sealed some of it, especially him getting fucking kicked out of his house and disappearing for 6 months and shit. Yeah, I don't think so. I think he just is. He's a mutant. He's a retarded ass mutant. He's a true cell for sure. This is definitely a true cell, no doubt.
Risking talking to anybody, you know, fuck relationships, fuck friendships, fuck family, fuck all that shit. I'm done. Like, I'm really that done. But anyway, yeah, like, he's like, yeah, we're gonna rob him. And this guy, he was like not someone you want to fuck with, bro. Like, this guy reminds me of like something out of like a fucking Euphoria episode. Like, you know, he was bald, tattoos fucking all over the place. Just, and there was always people in there too. So I'm like, how are you gonna fucking rob him? You know what I mean? He's like, that's what I need you for, bro. And I'm like, nah, like, no, dude. He's like, no, I know where he keeps all of his shit, bro. Like, this will last me like fucking months, dude. This will last me months, dude. And, that's essentially like, so yeah, I cut him off completely. And like a week goes by, everything's kind of good. But I noticed my mom wasn't talking to me at all. Like, she just was like really fucking weird, you know? And pretty much like this guy like had sent her a link to my fucking YouTube channel and shit. And that's like kind of was like the even bigger spiral. Cause like if all this kind of happened like, you know, 2 years ago, I would have been fucked and probably just like, I don't even know what I would have done. I have no idea. But like, you know, like I'm glad it happened.
The thing is, here's another thing too. If you think there's a risk of your YouTube channel ruining your life, maybe you should just private the videos. You know, just a thought. It's not like he was even making money. But again, if the theory is he's retarded, then he probably just didn't think of that. But again, like him losing the security job, you know, as soon as a guy starts threatening you over your YouTube channel, and your YouTube channel, like, ultimately doesn't matter. I know it's just him venting or whatever, but he could just unlist the videos at bare minimum, but ideally private them. And then maybe when things blow over, you make them public again. I mean, is that really something that you wouldn't think of? I mean, honestly, this fucking, I don't know.
Happened around the time it did because, like, first off, like, you know, another family was moving in, like the whole.
And yeah, and that's wasted time is right. He did after he got kicked out. After he got kicked out, wasted time he did. Why not way before any bad shit happened? Again, I know hindsight's 20/20 and all that, but I don't think it takes a really even an above average IQ to think of that.
Sold everything. I was moving anyway. I was fucking leaving anyway. I don't even know where my mom went. You know, like she apparently, like what I heard was that she went to California to live with a high school friend or something like that. You know, and just retired. But you know, she eventually like confronted me about it, and like she knew. Like the thing is too, like she knew about like that's why like she was the one who like had to fucking call the police, and like essentially like nothing even happened because like first off, this guy like legitimately during that time, his family, they put him in like some sort of like rehab in Florida. I don't know why Florida, apparently because they had like the best, like most expensive rehabs in the world or some shit. Like, and again, like what I'm gonna say, yeah, the cops don't do shit. They don't give a fuck. But you know, my mom was like scared to death. She's like, you're always causing drama and doing bullshit. What the and it just was horrible, you know. And she just was like, yeah, you're leaving right fucking now. I can't deal with this fucking shit, you know. Like, oh my God. Yeah, she was like more pissed off about my fucking YouTube channel. She's like, well, you need to go to therapy and you need to do this and you need heavy medication, because they wanted to put me in a group home.
Didn't he already go to therapy? Again, this reminds me of my own mother now. that's reminding me of my mom. Like, you need to go to therapy. It's like, I've already been to therapy a million goddamn times. You think it's gonna work if I do it again? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that part's pretty relatable, I'll be honest.
At first, you know, which makes no sense. I have 0 diagnosed mental illness. I don't like really. I mean, nowadays, like I drive a truck. My life's fucking fantastic. I don't have to worry about shit or care about anybody, you know. But like, it made no sense. Like, you know, especially after like them finding my channel, they're like, my uncle was sending me fucking death threats. He's like, you better delete this shit right now. This is disgusting towards our family.
Therapy might be better for him since he has 2 X chromosomes. I think, didn't he, I might be remembering wrong, but I thought he did a video talking about his therapy experiences before, but I can't quite remember. I've forgotten a lot of the lore, because, I don't know, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I just, you know, it's been a long time.
And, yeah, I just had it, you know. I was like, fuck this shit, man. You know, everything just came crashing down, and I couldn't even talk about it, too. What my channel was designed for, just to vent about my dog shit-ass life, I couldn't even talk about certain shit because I knew people were watching, you know, and I was like, fuck this. You know, why am I even doing this for anyway? You know? So, yeah, you know, that's pretty much like how, that's why you shouldn't lend people money, you know? Like, even if he wasn't blackmailing me with my fucking YouTube channel, it would have been with something else. I'm almost positive of that, you know?
Honestly, I think the real lesson is don't associate with drug addicts. You know, the lending money, sure, I mean, that's okay advice, but really the better advice is stay away from drug addicts. I mean, honestly, I'm shocked that that's not the message he's going for in this, because that one seems, you know, a little better, maybe more common sense, but still.
He even threatened to kill my dog. I have a fucking screenshot of that. But yeah, like, it's just, I'm so done with people, you know, and I don't have to fucking, and that's why I changed my number too. I'm not fucking, like, you know, what the fuck, why am I getting spam called by my fucking family members just saying the same shit over and over again? Oh, you gotta go to the hospital, you're you're clearly losing it, you're fucking sick in the head. And that's why I started drinking, you know, that, like, I can't even tell you, like, the amount of, like, I can't sleep at night because I think about all this shit. Like, it replays in my head 24/7, like, that guy blackmailing me and all this shit, like, it replays in my head all the time. Like, I really can't sleep, and, like, I have, like, really bad fucking panic attacks, or I used to. Now I'm, like, kind of, you know, like, since I moved, like, completely left New York, no one knows where the fuck I am or what I'm doing. Like, it's just, like, I used to have to fucking drink. It was the only thing that calmed me down. It was the only thing that, like, just took everything away, like, all the pain away and shit, you know, of, like, what had happened to me. But, yeah, that's fucking pretty much it. Some brutal shit I went through, you know, and now I'm doing better. I don't want to look back on it. I don't want to, like, acknowledge these people or ever talk to them ever again, and that's final. Like, and this is the thing, too. Like, apparently, I think that guy from last I've heard, he's still in that fucking rehab. Like, for all my old friends, I don't care, dude. I just want to move on and not think about this shit. I don't hold grudges. I don't give a fuck. Like, I hope their lives turn out good. I don't care, you know, but.
And so, you know, he's not on enough tests. Give him more TRT until he wants his vengeance. You're pathetic, suck my cock. Yeah, I see your name and I said it. And you should suck my cock.